On this episode of Hanging with MNL,
Dear new recruiter, communicate process delays, closures early enough. Make the process clear up front to this candidate. No matter how entry level the job is, no matter how low it is to you, accord importance. Treat all your candidates as though they are a CEO or a president, That service level is so important. Welcome to the Hanging with MNL podcast, where we discuss and debate all matters affecting people in their careers and the workplace.
our goal is to tackle the difficult issues affecting our communities in the career space and to guide people to their most happy place.
Mshauri Careers, hanging with MNL.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us again for yet another exciting jam with myself and the lovely M.
Hey guys.
And today we are touching upon a subject that is so close to my heart. And this actually goes out to a lot of more younger recruiters who we tend to see a lot of mistakes that they make. So this is what we are calling the Dear Recruiter. Myself and Em are just going to jump into some of the common mistakes that we see, and I tend to find myself being the therapist of my friends who are like, you should tell your recruiter friends to do X, Y, or Z.
I hear that all
or
the time.
stop doing
For you,
X, Y, and
because
Z.
your title goes as recruiter, mine. Oh yeah, sorry about that, guys. If you can hear a buzzing sound, we record outside in a little garden. So I don't know if you can hear it, but it's all good.
Okay, so guys, sorry about that. Had to go, sort out some construction issues that were going on. That's what all that drilling was all about. But yeah, so as we were mentioning, that we do get a lot of complaints that come our way, and one of the biggest one is ghosting.
Into the trees, never to be seen again with my CV and everything else.
And especially if you reached out to this candidate on LinkedIn, whatever platform, and you are like, hi, so and so, I really like your profile, can we have some time to speak? Yada yada yada, this is the role, and the person is happily in their current job, they weren't seeking you out, and then you go through some sort of a process, and then poof,
Disappearing act.
Aladdin, poof.
Silence.
And you know what? There's no reason to ghost someone. If for which I've seen happens quite a lot, maybe sometimes a role is put on hold, or the organization decides to go in a different direction. There's nothing wrong with that. Tell the individual. Just communicate. Let the person know, because as M likes to say, this could be your next boss.
Yeah, it's so unfair to just go silent. It is just so horrible. And I internally too, you recruit internally, externally, a lot of internal jobs are also regularly filled, and the ghosting continues. And this is someone who works upstairs. There's no reason to do that. So, dear new recruiter.
Yeah. And let me tell you, whether it's on a professional setting or in your personal life, stop ghosting people just in general. Don't ghost.
Don't be
them.
afraid of it. Imagine if it was you. You've pegged absolutely everything on this interview process. You've become vested. You've told your family about it. Be human about it. Manage expectations. Keep them updated. Even if it's an email, even if it's a text, just do not ghost. It gives the recruitment profession such a bad reputation. Don't do it.
Let's talk about the kaching, the monies. I mean, it's a big motivator to why everyone wakes up to go to work. And so this is more with people who are recruiting more senior level type
Well,
roles.
not necessarily, Elle. It's everywhere. It's every role.
Okay, I guess that's true. I think it's very important for you as a recruiter to be educated on the pay structures of other organizations and understanding how that translates into the role you're bringing them to. And it's very important that if you know early on that if company X pays twice as much as you guys are willing to pay, that this is something you bring up at the jump. And don't start saying, oh, we are flexible, when you know that you have a budget that is not flexible.
Often it's usually so that you can pad the shortlist and make it look like you're busy and you found good candidates, ignoring the emotional pain that will come later to that candidate when you drag them through weeks and weeks of interviews, and only for you to say, oops,
we can't afford you. And sometimes I'll tell you, these candidates actually appreciate being told from the job, because I've actually had some people take a pay cut because the job was interesting.
Right?
But then it's because you were very honest and were like, I know we're not going to be able to match some of the things that you're doing. And some of it is not even just money. There are sometimes you have these perks. I remember this one recruitment that I was doing, and I had a specific individual, and from a base salary perspective, we could match what they wanted. But they had a caveat where, for them, what was really important is their current employer paid for school fees at an international school for 3 of their kids. We were not able to bring that to the table. That's just the reality, and we weren't able to bring the candidate on board because of that. So above and beyond the ka-ching, also know some of the other perks that are important to the candidate and have that conversation earlier on, so it's not a waste of their time, your time. And then if you have the mandate maybe to talk to the budget holder, you can say, hey, this person is very strong, but please take into account you're gonna have to shift a few things around if you want to be able to bring them on board.
Super.
Great.
Oh.
This is one of your personal favorites, which is research and prepare for the interview. I can see you, Mudhoni, holding your head right now, shaking your head.
And this, I particularly feel strongly for specialized jobs, tech jobs, data science jobs, where a well-meaning recruiter has done part of the work and found this excellent guy on LinkedIn, and they're willing to talk to us. But you, my dear recruiter, have not done any research about the jargon of the field, even what they do, but you're quick to interview them and they quickly establish just how little you know. So their fear already is like, will they disqualify me? What will they use to disqualify me? Because the person interviewing me doesn't have a clue even about what they're asking me.
And it ends up you being sort of educating this person what you do, and you're like, how can the person who's supposed to make an assessment of me, I'm the one taking them to school. So I think it's very important. And if you are not cognizant, there's nothing wrong. Get another technical subject matter expert to sit with you on the panel, and then what you as the recruiter can do, you can sort of be the facilitator with the introduction type questions, and then the process type questions, and then the technical questions. You can have 2 people who know what they are talking about talk about the 2 things they know, and then you can sort of come back, and I think that way even the candidate feels a little bit more respected.
I get that. That is true, Elle, but my issue here is we want to grow as recruiters who are also business partners and are respected by the technical experts who you're saying we include them in the panel. Do basic research about the job. Find out about the jargon, the trends. Dissect the job description. Sit with this technical expert and prepare questions that even you can ask about this job, because you're selling the reputation too of the field you're in. You're just not a dud sitting there asking about salary. You speak at the beginning about salary and speak at the end. Soft skills questions, they call them. That's what HR asks. No, you can ask technical questions. If you apply yourself, you do your research, you ask for a little bit of coaching, you go online, watch videos, be vested. That way you can be able to suss out who really is making sense in the interview. You're just sitting there daydreaming about lunch.
And it also goes beyond technical roles, because read my CV. Jeez, know where I've worked. So then it's not like a surprise. Hello, surprise! And I'm talking about a project that you seem like it's, and this is a project that's been in the media, in the news. So if you knew I held this title, you would know that obviously I have a big, part in to play with it and actually probe around these things. So yeah, definitely do your research. Let's talk about the next one. Oh my, which is really, really bad. If anything, recruiters take away from
you
this
take
one.
this one quite personally sometimes. I
Do
know.
not push your own time pressures on a candidate. Don't call me tomorrow and be like, hey, I saw your profile. Can we speak tomorrow at 5? Oh, and by the way, please find attached a written assessment that you should complete in the next 2 hours. And oh, my MD is only around on Tuesday. So, hey.
Respond now.
Hold up.
Respond now. And
Hold
remember,
up.
this is the same person who will ghost you later.
Ghost you. Hold up. I think it's very, very important that you realize that everyone has a life, everyone has things going on, and that you establish what is a good working sort of engagement with this person. What works well, it is for you to be flexible, not for them to be to fit into your little mold or what you think is important. And I see that happening a lot, and what ends up happening is somebody gets such a bad taste in their mouth. They are like, look at this person, like they owe you nothing.
You literally think I'm sitting under a tree waiting to be available.
And please remember, you reached out to me, like I am perfectly fine, and actually I have a report that's due that's actually getting me paid. So that's where my focus is going to be right now.
This actually bleeds into the next point. Dear new recruiter, communicate process delays, closures early enough. And it feeds back also to the ghosting bit. Make the process clear up front to this candidate. No matter how entry level the job is, no matter how low it is to you, accord importance. Treat all your candidates as though they are a CEO or a president, That service level is so important, dear new recruiter. So make it clear what the process is, what the delays could be, what they can anticipate, Don't wait spells of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, and then only after the 7th week is when you say, oh, the process was delayed. You think? Yes, it was. But, over and above everything, dear new recruiter, we know we've told you a lot, but rest and recuperation, relaxation is very important. I know you're always under pressure to close things, right? Lily, you do this. I'm a generalist, so recruitment is like 40%, but it's 100%.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, we're being graced by more traffic. I think they really love you. As soon as we sit in the garden, nothing the whole week, but then today, here we go, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what you say is very true. It can be a bit exhausting, and also you're dealing with people all the time, and then you have deadlines here and there, working with what I've found also in recruitment is, unfortunately, people treat it as an emergency. So every time a hiring manager is at you, they needed that person yesterday. So what tends to happen is sometimes you're in emergency mode all the time, and that can cause burnout. So be as Em has said, just take time, rest, and also when you take time to rest, make sure you have a good person you could hand over your role to, because what can also happen is you give somebody a really good candidate experience and then you hand it over to someone because either you've gone on leave or you're unwell, whatever might you be, and then that ruins everything. And guess what? It can impact negatively on you as well, even though you did everything that you should do. Just make sure also, if you're handing over your projects, that you and your peers on the same page.
And then last but not least is boundaries. So I have witnessed naive recruiters be hit on by candidates, and maintaining professionalism is so important. So keep boundaries. There are clients. It's a professional relationship. Don't be overly familiar. There's no need for it. And if you see it coming your way, nip it at the bud. And the standard line is, I respect this process, and this is purely professional. So kindly, let's keep our engagement to the process at hand, you know.
And the boundaries goes both ways, because I've also seen recruiters violating it as well on their end, where someone is like, oh, they'll see a job that they like, and they're like, oh, last week I interviewed with this guy. I think he worked there. Let me just drop him a line and see if, there's any way. No. I think, let it stick to the job.
Yeah.
And and not go on beyond that.
Keep it professional. Yeah. And don't let them ask you for money. Don't ask for money. Just keep it professional. There's a creed. I think we should come up with like a recruiter's creed.
Yeah.
When you decide to get into this really rewarding, really exciting profession, because recruitment is no day is the same. It's really addictive. There's always a constant high. It's a great field. But then there's a creed of no ghosting. If we go back to what we've said today, don't ghost. Establish pay early. Research and prepare for the interview as though you could be a subject matter. Come as close as you can. Do not push time pressures onto candidates. Communicate the process early and manage expectations. Rest and recuperate, and keep boundaries. If you're a recruiter, if you know of a recruiter, if you've had an excellent or not so good recruitment experience, let us know. If you have a story you would like to tell about a recruitment experience, we're happy to invite you on an episode if we can. So express interest, let us know. On Twitter, we are on Mshauri Careers. Give us a tweet. On LinkedIn, we're Mshauri Careers. We're the same on Instagram, YouTube. We're all over there with our so many episodes that you can watch and get entertained, as you also tell us what you think. Okay?
Well, thanks again, and we wish you a great week ahead, and to many, many more. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mshauri